All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're tracing the absolute meteoric rise of James Rallison, obviously better known to most of us as TheOdd1sOut. We're going to look at how he took some seriously simple drawings and transformed them into a massive, multifaceted media empire. If you've ever doodled in the margins of a notebook and just kind of wondered where it could take you, well, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to this one.
5.74 billion. Let that number just sink in for a second. That is the staggering amount of total views James has racked up on his main YouTube channel to date. We are talking about a viewership that literally rivals major television networks, and it was all built around a single guy's animated storytime videos. Absolutely wild.
And, seeing a number that massive, it really forces us to ask a pretty fascinating question. How exactly did a teenager from Chandler, Arizona, who essentially just draws marshmallows with faces, manage to build a multi-billion-view digital and television juggernaut? Like, what's the actual blueprint here? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
Part 1. The struggle and the pivot.
So, to really understand this empire, we have to look back at the early days of a 16-year-old kid who was just trying to find an audience. Back in May 2012, James gets a drawing tablet for his 16th birthday, right? And by June, he's uploading his very first comic to Tumblr. But fast forward to December 2012, and he hits a major wall. He experiences a really severe drop in motivation and, honestly, nearly gave up entirely. It took a whole year of just struggling to find his footing before he made a major shift in April 2013, pivoting to those simple bubble characters we all know and love today.
And that crucial turning point was a really drastic shift in his style. In his early 2012 attempts, he was actually trying to do way more complex character designs with specific names and detailed shading, which is a lot of work. But then came the 2013 pivot to his simplified marshmallow people. As it turns out, stripping away all that complicated art and focusing purely on the comedy and the relatability of the situations was exactly the magic formula he needed to finally gain real traction on Tumblr.
Part 2. The viral explosion.
So, cut to 2014, and our modestly successful webcomic artist takes a massive leap into the totally unpredictable world of YouTube. On August 30th, the TheOdd1sOut comic channel was officially born. Inspired by other creators doing similar stuff, James uploaded his very first animated storytelling video called A Book I Made as a Kid. Now, because he already had around 50,000 followers on Tumblr by this point, he didn't have to start from absolute zero. He had a good 1,000 or so subscribers right out of the gate. But for those first couple of years, growth was definitely steady, but relatively modest.
But then early 2016 rolls around and things go absolutely supersonic. In February, a video he made about ASMR suddenly blows up out of nowhere, pushing his channel to 100,000 subscribers. Then in March, he uploads a highly relatable story about working at a sandwich shop he famously dubbed Soupway. That specific video became his very first to hit 1 million views. And honestly, from there was no looking back. By April, he was sitting at 400,000 subs, and by July, he completely exploded past the 1 million subscriber mark.
Going from 100,000 to 1 million subscribers in basically 5 months is the very definition of a vertical leap. It's insane. And James really loves celebrating these milestones with his rapidly growing audience. For his 100,000 subscribers special, he covered a cake in 100,000 actual sprinkles. Then later on, when he hit 3 million, he totally escalated things and filled an entire backyard pool with them. It really cemented this super fun, engaging relationship he has with his fan base.
Part 3. Building a multimedia empire.
Capitalizing on all this explosive YouTube fame, James started to strategically expand his footprint. He transformed his brand way beyond just animations. We're talking 2 New York Times best-selling books with over 1 million copies sold. He ventured into tabletop gaming with the wildly popular food fight card game Cafe Chaos, which impressively was fully backed on Kickstarter in under 7 minutes. Add in another board game, a mobile app called Let's Bounce, and even a hit music video with Boy in a Band called Life is Fun, and you are looking at an absolute masterclass in brand expansion.
All of which brings us to where his main channel sits today, an astounding 20.7 million subscribers. This massive number alone proves that his authentic storytelling formula isn't just some passing internet trend. It's a genuine powerhouse of modern entertainment. He's built this dedicated community that tunes in time and time again, completely regardless of the medium.
But why does it work so incredibly well? Well, his success stems directly from his self-deprecating humor and relatable personality. Whether he's ranting about people cutting in line, digging into awkward childhood memories, or just talking about weird social interactions, he makes millions of viewers feel completely understood.
He tapped right into that universal feeling of being the odd one out and somehow turned it into this massively inclusive community.
Part 4. Oddballs and Mainstream Success.
So here we have the ultimate leap for basically any digital creator, graduating to mainstream television. In October 2022, James officially brought his signature Marshmallow characters to Netflix. He co-created and executive produced a top 10 animated series called Oddballs alongside veteran showrunner Ethan Banville. Broadcasting in 192 markets worldwide, this was just a massive validation of his storytelling style, proving once and for all that what works on YouTube can absolutely translate to a premium global streaming platform.
Of course, to build out a structured TV narrative, his world had to evolve a bit. Set in the fictional town of Dirt, Arizona, which is a really fun nod to his real-life home state, the show featured James voicing a fictionalized version of himself. But to really execute a television story, he's joined by Max, a dim-witted talking crocodile, and Echo, a time-traveling girl from a future where processed food has gone extinct. It perfectly captured the bizarre, rant-filled energy of his YouTube channel, but packaged it into a fully serialized adventure series.
So this leaves us with a truly fascinating thought about the future of digital media. Now that the blueprint, going from a struggling bedroom webcomic artist to a YouTube animator, all the way to a Netflix executive producer, has been proven by The Odd Ones Out, what limits are truly left for digital creators today? If a teenager drawing simple shapes on a tablet can build a global empire just by being relatable, the traditional barriers to entry are practically gone. I hope this explainer has shown you the incredible heights that independent storytelling can reach and maybe even inspired you to share your own stories. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.